do full screen and
Woo!
speaker. Move myself out of the way so I don't look at myself. Nathan will be, I'm sure, looking at himself for most of this.
This time I figured it out. I just put my little square face over your face.
You're not actually doing that, are you?
No, I am.
So weird.
You
don't think that creates a contrived conversation, you looking into your own little face on someone else's face?
If I could have every conversation be me looking at a little version of my face saying what I am currently saying, that would be ideal.
Am I doing it? Do I have your face?
I'll get it perfect. There you go. Yeah, it's just my little face over. It kind of looks like, you know Power Rangers, how they have the little there's like it looks like stop.
I don't think this translates at all. No one can see this.
No, and no one's watching or listening to our podcast, which would make it hard. But it looked like for a little bit that I was a little driver driving your whole body. Like inside Nicholas, there's a little Nathan just controlling.
Boy, that would be depressing realization.
For who?
Me. Well, I guess I would be a little Nathan.
Yeah.
Are you also a little Nathan?
No, I'm a big Nathan. I'm me. I'm confused.
Oh, you're not being driven by a little anything?
No, because you got rid of your face. So I'm me. And you're a little Nathan. Do you think do you think it'd be a sad reality if you found out everybody was just controlled by a little version of you?
Of me? No, of you. If I lived in a world of little Nathans and I had to question, am I also little Nathan? I mean, everybody else seems to be a little Nathan, but I don't feel like a little Nathan.
What does a little Nathan feel like?
Oh, gross. Really gross.
Do you think it'd be weird talking to people?
If I knew they were all little Nathans?
Yeah, would you? But they really tried to make it like hide it still. Like
I wouldn't talk to anybody ever again.
You would stop talking to just everybody through and through. Everybody was a little Nathan.
Yeah.
Why?
Because how racist it would be. It would just be little Nathan and all these different peoples of colors, bodies doing his best impression of what he imagines that they sound like.
It's like everybody sounded normal until you found out they were all little Nathans, and then you re-listen to like an Asian person talk, and you're like, oh my god, that doesn't sound anything. But no, but I'd be the only person. So
what's your if you were driving around an Asian person, what would they sound like?
I'm not gonna. No, they would sound like an Asian because I am all Asian. So then
what do they sound like? Which is even worse. What do what do those people?
I think if you got to Europe or like Britain, the accents would really fall apart. My British accent is awful.
Not as good as your black scent.
I thought you were talking about how I would smell as a black person.
Black scent.
Yeah, I thought it's like I don't have to. I would just wear whatever shampoo they wear. I would like make up a new scent.
What shampoo do they wear?
I don't know. I use 3-in-1. I don't even feel like I have my shampoo situation figured out. Stop making this race based. I didn't even make it. You made this about race.
You made it. It's implied. It's all about race. If it turns out everyone is a suburban white guy, it's like, well, then why did the suburban white guy invent all of these races and then make them fight? It's all just him. What a weird guy.
There would be a patriarch. Like we would know that for a fact. Like, that would be the case.
Even though all the women are you as well.
Yeah, the patriarch. Well, no, because they're all little white. Little white guys do really run the world because they're all inside of They're inside of us the whole time. I think it would bring people together. I think it'd be very beautiful.
All right, you wake up, okay?
Yeah.
And your fingers and toes are switched. So where your fingers, now it's toes and vice versa, okay? Your girlfriend walks in, says, hey, we're going to brunch at Gowanus Gardens. Do you go?
Is there a lot of toe food?
I mean, it depends on what you order. Could go either way. You can.
Who am I going with?
Brunch with your girlfriend at Gowanus Gardens. I mean,
is it just me and my girlfriend?
Who do you think you're going with? No, it's the girls.
It's the girls? Oh man, I could not go with the girls. Oh man, that'd be tough. That'd be Margs. And I wouldn't have the confidence yet to use my No, I wouldn't have the confidence yet to do that. I'd clearly pop off the shoes and the socks and just
you go with your feet?
Yeah, go with my feet, like a monkey. And then
I don't think the girls would like that.
No, this is a Tarzan fantasy we've all been having. I would use my feet hands and do party tricks.
I think the girls would not like that at all.
I think the girls would.
That seems like a move more for the boys.
No, I think the boys would be enticed with the toe fingers. I think you would use. I don't even know what you would. Your hands would become useless, and
because they would smell bad. So that's something you could use that for things.
Would I have to get new shoes?
You don't have time. It's brunch. I guess you're wearing flops.
I can't wear flops. My fingers would be like curled over.
Yeah, you'd be grabbing the flop.
Like really aggressively. Flops. Yeah.
Keep stepping on your own finger toes.
I would just say those are shoes. I'm like, no, those are clearly your fingers wrapped. Like, no, that's my shoe.
And then when you got bored waiting, your toes would like.
I I don't know where you thought we would go with this, but yeah, I guess you would just go
I'm
with.
asking if you would go to brunch.
No, I wouldn't go to brunch.
You wouldn't go to brunch. What would your excuse be? Would you say, hey, honey, I have
Chlamydia.
finger toes now and toe fingers?
I told you my answer. I would say I had chlamydia. I couldn't go.
That wouldn't preclude you from brunch, though.
It's a lot of chlamydia.
Wow.
Yeah, like a lot. Like look at my, look at my feet. Like, oh, that's a lot of, I don't know the symptoms of chlamydia off the top of my head, but that looks bad. Your feet look and hands look fucked. Late stage chlamydia.
I don't know. Would you have the finger strength to like walk just on your, like you could be on your tiptoes and you would just start traveling forward slowly?
You could do like this, but with your feet.
But on your, all of your fingers. Just
all your fingers. You'd have like a weird spider toes.
And people would be impressed, but you'd go, it's not worth it at all.
This kind of sounds like one of those like lame X-Men that they throw in and they're like, oh no, they're useful throughout and they have like one scene where they really push their utility, but really they're not useful at all. Like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, it's this really contrived thing where it's like, oh, we need someone to like
solve a riddle, but only with their feet.
Yeah, flick a switch that's way down there and then kick something way up here. Who can
we have no one.
Is there some person who can do upside down stuff? No. Oh, feet guy. Yeah.
Okay. I may have laser vision, but you were the hero of today, sir. I think you would be a contrived, and I think it would hinder you more than it would help you.
Your feet would be so long because you would have to add like where your toes, because your toes are like this big. You have to add, your toes would be about 4 times as long.
You would be an amazing swimmer.
I don't know that that's the case.
Yeah, you'd have like flippers.
Would that offset your now stupid hands?
Yeah, well, you would use the hands for fighting. You'd be kind of like a seal.
Do you think everybody who this happened to would, the first thought would be like, I got to get in a pool, man? I mean,
this is what I'm built for now. I think that's all everybody would do. I think the first step is dive into the water. And don't even not even get into a pool, just the closest body of water. They'd be drawn to it, I think. Okay, so if you had the power to travel through time, but you had to be pooping when you did it, and you can only go to another point in time when you were pooping, which
those
time
are my
travel
spawn points?
Yeah, those are your points. Which time travel movie would you reenact? I'm thinking, my first thought was
you should blow your nose. All I'm thinking about during this now is just how much editing work I'm going to have to do.
Leave it in.
I'm not going to leave in you blowing your. I don't even think you blew it. I just heard you sniff in. Do you know how to blow your nose?
They were prop tissues. I don't have tissues.
Stop sniffling.
I will not.
It's really awful.
Okay. I'll blow it again.
You didn't blow it the first time.
I know I did.
You faked it. Blow out. Exhale with your nose. You're sucking in. You're just putting the tissue up to your and then going, what is the point of that?
It's for you. It's so you stop complaining.
But you didn't blow your nose either time. You just touched, you like
Can we do my fucking question?
You wiped your nose like it was a butt.
I worked really hard on which time travel movie reenact. I would do Time Traveler's Wife.
So in what way do you reenact the movie?
You scene by scene, I guess. You redo the scenes.
Walk me through some scenes in Time Traveler's Wife, but you're pooping. How does that go?
Okay, so like the first scene, it's a little girl and she runs into the woods and she sees this older man and that's where they meet. And then he time travels away. So I would go there as a younger person and start pooping. And then I would time travel back to that point and then talk to her. And then once I finished pooping, I would teleport away. And that's the first scene of the movie. And then I would do every scene kind of shot by shot like that.
Okay.
Yeah, which movie?
I guess Avengers Endgame.
You would do.
It would be Avengers. Me and like 8 of my friends all on a big platform,
circle, holding hands.
Oh shit.
None of them time travel but you. So they just poop themselves on a platform.
And I would go back
in white suits.
I would go back to the Battle of New York, but I would be not ready. I need like 40. I mean, I got a shower. I need a while.
No. You can only time travel while you're pooping.
Yeah, well, I would get there and I'd be covered in poop.
Yeah, but no. If you finish pooping, you go back.
What?
You can only do it while you are pooping. You can re-experience a poop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would have to be pooping the whole time. You have to
That'd be tough.
And you wouldn't want to go back too quickly. So you have to
I tried buying just salmon from the grocery store and then eating it like sashimi. So I was like, oh, I've beaten sushi. Now I get sushi for like $9, like a whole slab of salmon steak. Anyway, I had diarrhea for like 3 hours. All this to say, I would be so powerful. I'd be able to sustain time travel for hours. I would be so grumpy the whole time. I'd be like,
Well, I think it'd be annoying because I think other people would think you're like a kind of a piece of shit. You're like, guys, I need salmon. You had to get me. Like, dude, what? You've been shitting for 3 hours and you haven't been useful. It's like, guys, I need salmon right now, or I have to leave this fight immediately.
Nathan Nathan, blow your fucking nose. You can't sniffle the whole time.
I will be sniffling.
It's gonna make this we can't listen to it if it's sniffling. Blow. Do you know how to do it? Oh my god. Blow out, you freak.
I did. There you go.
Oh god. Oh god.
You need to cut that.
I'm leaving that.
Okay.
Oh, it's so bad. It got on your lip. I think our podcast took a step today. That was
So where were you at?
not looking at you the same way ever again. God damn.
Seeing your pubic hair. I feel
Is that why you didn't want to blow your nose? Because you knew you would snot cum all over your lips?
I was worried about it.
Oh, you were right to be worried. That was bad. That was really gross.
Where would you? So you just eat a lot of sand. I'm gonna push past this because I'm a better
Woo! Wow. That was so gross. That's going to be a clip. I'm going to clip that.
It's me snotting on my
I hope that the thing got it though. Sometimes it could have been me just reacting to you snot.
You should cut it the other way where if you can find another place to insert the exact same footage, make it look like I do it a lot throughout the whole podcast.
just like after I say anything, you're just like
everyone. Like every time you get a big laugh, just.
But anyway, yeah, no, I would do Avengers Endgame. I would go back to the Battle of New York with diarrhea.
Who would you be? Which character?
Tony Stark. And then I would go back and visit my father, give him a big hug.
Are you still pooping?
I guess I am.
Does he know you?
No, he doesn't recognize me. He's just like, that's a man covered in shit.
Are you still wearing the very white outfit to really are you wearing a different outfit?
It's not very white anymore. It's the same outfit.
It's just brown.
But I want everyone to see my power.
It's like running down your leg as you try to hug him.
Dad, you're going to be a good father. He's like, what the fuck?
I think you would get shot. Are you still at a military base? You're gonna get shot.
Yeah, I'm on a military. Dad!
We have that scene where you try to break into the lab and they're like, I'm a scientist. Like, dude, I don't care what you are.
Yeah.
You are. There's shit from the door to here, and it's running down your leg.
It's part of an experiment.
Why are there two of you, and why are you both shitting profusely?
It's a social experiment.
I thought Looper would be hilarious.
I don't think
I saw you Looper. It's one where a younger version of yourself goes back in time to fight another time traveling older version of yourself. Okay. So from an outside perspective, it would just be an older man and a younger man like shooting at each other while like profusely shitting.
Yeah, it seems like it would come across as they were mad at each other for shitting.
Yeah.
But when they both don't even realize they themselves are shitting, it's like on the inside we're all the same.
I have this scene in my head where it's like the beginning of the Terminator, where he comes back and he's like in this position. He gets up and he's this younger man and he walks forward and he sees just a line of shit. That's me, all right. And then he just runs after him, but he's also shitting horrifically the whole time. And I think that would make a great opening scene to, I think, a wonderful movie.
Avatar: The Last Airbender doesn't travel forward in time, but maybe he's just encased in shit. He just shit all over himself, and he's just like, for 100 years.
That's what the Avatar state is. That's the only thing they don't tell you. It's just like profusely. And that's why nobody likes it. It's not because he's really dangerous, because it's just like disgusting.
Yeah. That one episode with that Earth Kingdom guy, like, we need to induce the Avatar state. And everyone's like, oh
man.
God. I mean, we could. I know how. He's allergic to nuts, but
a lot of fiber, I guess.
Yeah.
That's how he does it. And that scene where he's just, the scene where he joins with the moon spirit?
Yes.
Just poop.
Oh.
Smothers.
Oh, it's poop, huh?
It's a big poop. It's like
how long ago we do this bit where we're like, this scene from the movie? Poop. Instead of a dinner date, it is poop. What the fuck? Who the fuck is that in our podcast? All right, you ready for the next question?
I have more poop.
We'll go back and forth. You find out that your girlfriend is related to Hitler, like really close to, like a daughter or something, or like a granddaughter.
She old?
No, same person, but she's like a direct descendant of Hitler.
How is she a direct descendant of Hitler?
Granddaughter, something like
that. Does she have the wealth still?
No. You just know that she's a Hitler. So you find out she's related to Hitler, or you find out she is related to you.
Does she have the last name Hitler? And is she pushing me to like hyphenate?
Yes. She has the last name Hitler. She didn't know.
She wants her name first. She's like, I really think it sounds better if it's Hitler hopping.
Yeah. She didn't know, but then when she found out it's like a feminist thing, and she's like, well, I'm a Hitler.
I'm reclaiming it.
Yeah, like how people were reclaiming bitch. I'm reclaiming Hitler.
Yeah.
Just me.
I want to be Hitler hopping. And I want our children to just be Hitler.
So anyway, that's my question.
Is she like a Nazi?
I mean, she's probably more sympathetic. Like she'll like hear about it now. She's doing some Googling. She's, last name Hitler. Let's see what this guy, he's grandpa. She's thinking, well, mom and dad.
Do I get any of the proceeds from Mein Kampf?
I don't think anyone gets the proceeds from Mein Kampf. So, I wonder if there's some publishing house.
I think there is. I think there's actually and I would do it, and then I would sue that publishing. I want like 5% royalty. I've seen Shark Tank.
Pretty crazy. Is there someone out there whose like career is like if there's some like sales rep or whatever for a publishing house whose like main thing is Mein Kampf, or they're like, that's a big part of my nut.
And he has to make like new editions of it because nobody's really buying Mein Kampf. It's like, what if we added pictures? What if this was a picture book for children? He was like trying to innovate on it.
Yeah.
That could be me. I think I'd go that way. You
would do that over having her be related to you?
Yeah. Yes. Of course.
It would be Nathan or Mrs. Hopping. She was still in a hyphenate.
You still want to hyphenate? Would you put a little square, or would it be a?
No.
You wouldn't be cool about it?
No, because she would feel like she was putting a square over your name, and she wanted to make sure everyone saw her name.
What if I said it's a square over? I'm picking Hitler.
You're picking Mrs. Hitler.
Miss Hitler Hopping, or Hopping Hitler. I think that sounds better, but I could.
I think the real answer is I think everyone would pick Hitler.
It's like, it sounds like she's not even that anti. I think we could push through it as a couple.
Okay. What about you find out she's related to you?
And Hitler?
She goes deaf and blind and gains a little bit of weight.
Oh, Hitler. Hitler, 100%. I still wouldn't. I don't even know what you're...
No. Related to you. Obviously, Hitler was number one here.
Oh.
So it's incest or... forget everything else. Incest or she gains like 6 pounds.
6 pounds?
6 pounds. Or it's an incest.
Where is the 6 pounds going?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
What's that? I don't think either are good. Is it like all in the hands? Because that's really bad.
No, it's just 6 pounds.
I think I would do the 6 pounds. If you were like 6 pounds.
Saying, do I look like I gained 6 pounds? And you're like, oh.
You don't look like you're related to me.
No. Yeah, but you gained, and then all your friends are like, dude, I don't want to be an asshole or anything.
I wouldn't have noticed it at 5.
It's like your fucking girlfriend gained 6 pounds.
Yeah. What if it was 20 pounds, but only in the fingers?
So 2 pounds per finger?
It's a lot of weight per finger. Or
every time she's like,
Hitler.
You're like, why are you so angry? And she's like, I'm not.
I'm just putting it's so tiring. She can't really write correctly. You have to like write things for her. It's almost a disability.
A lot of our podcast seems to have become like strange body horror.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Junji Ito before I do this.
Wow.
Man in the Chair.
Weird headspace to put yourself in.
Yeah, Junji Ito. I reread Man in the Chair before every single podcast.
Freak out about spirals for
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know how you get. Do you know the Man in the Chair thing? It's a guy that
he's in the chair.
Yeah. How is he not just so hard the whole time? How is it not?
I think he's pretty hard.
Ripping through the chair. Like
maybe it's because he has too much like he takes being a chair too seriously. He's like, I would never disrespect the chair with my shameful boner.
You're like, I think there's a person in the chair. The other person's like, why would you say that? Like, because there's a penis just shooting out of it right where I'm supposed to sit.
It's that kind of, it's because it's a lazy boy. So
you can really lean back in it.
Yeah, they don't put their penises away because it's very lazy.
Does he get water? How does he get water? How does he get water?
Is
it your sweat?
I don't know, man.
Is it what soaks in? Is that what he gets? I don't think enough people know about this Junji Ito thing.
I think it's funny that the woman who's the protagonist in this story didn't have any of these questions.
No, she didn't even wonder. It's like,
she's just like, there's a man in the chair. Like, okay. And no one else asked either.
Didn't she buy the chair at the end? She's like, oh, okay, a person in the chair.
No, she bought it at the beginning, and I think she kept, and I think she doesn't even go to the police. She goes to the furniture store that she got it from, and she's like, you're not selling men in chairs, are you? And they're like, no. And they're like, well, we did hear about a man in a chair, but like we're pretty sure it's.
And we do open our chair and put small care packages of sandwiches and water in case there is a man that happens to be in the chair. We're not murderers.
No, and all the sandwiches and water seem to disappear, but we don't think there's a man. I mean, a man in a chair, that sounds ludicrous.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, some of our chairs have face imprints going kind of outward, but we just thought that was the chair.
Yeah, because we're craftsmen over here.
Yeah, we really put a lot of work in. I like to imagine it the other way, where
there's a chair and a man,
just like the legs coming out of their. No, I like to imagine it as if she went to the chair people because they will hunt down and like murder chair people. They're like, another one, we'll get them. And they have like a team. For that? Yeah, they have an elite squad that goes and just you would think they're like they talk about all their introduce themselves about all their experience, and they just go and like with baseball bats and just beat the shit out of chairs.
They just club chairs.
Yeah, that's all they do.
And sometimes it turns out they got the wrong chair.
Yeah.
And they just beat the shit out of your chair.
Yeah, one time they just got a guy that was sitting. They were unsure.
Yeah.
They didn't even. They're like a loose cannon. They're like a renegade chair beater. Yeah, that's what I think.
Nathan, I think you got some snot.
I'm not gonna fix it. This has been
You can't keep.
Oh my god. Okay. Just cut this out then.
No, on camera again. On camera. There Nathan goes to blow his nose. Maybe his girlfriend's gonna give him some soup. I think Nathan's gained a little weight. Why is he wearing that hat, I wonder? Yeah, he's gained a little bit of weight. Oh, that's Stand Up Out Loud shirt. That's our shirt. You see it? Like he looks like kind of the letter D.
You have to see both ends. Yeah, no. So in all the prison movies and stuff, they're like, you need to go and kill the biggest guy in the room. You need to go in, get into prison, go there and find the biggest guy and kill him. Or not kill him, but like beat him up or stab him or something, like show him who's boss. Do you think?
What if the biggest guy was poop?
No, that would be a fun one. But just like, do you think about like after like the third or fourth guy, he's probably like pretty disheartened and upset. Like everybody keeps.
I think that premise has been done from the big guy's perspective, where he's like, "Why is everybody fucking being mean to me?" I think Mike Kaplan had a bit that was kind of similar about how everybody's always going back in time to try to kill Hitler, and so Hitler's like, "What the fuck? I'm gonna kill Jews."
Okay, well, I'll cross that one off.
You know, maybe don't be such a hack.
I don't know what's hacky and not. I don't do comedy.
What's the next one? Let's get a real one.
This is a not as exciting of a question. Do you think, when you drive like, because I noticed this when I was helping move my girlfriend, that we drive like a big truck. Do you know how when you drive a really big truck, kind of feels like you're driving in the center of the road?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because just the car is really big, or you're so confident about driving a big truck that you are literally driving in the center of the road because you feel like you. No, you know when you feel like you're in the center of the road, and then you also feel like you keep hitting other cars and people, you know that weird feeling you get, and like it's this feeling of hearing screams and seeing blood and the police chasing you. You know that feeling? Yeah. You're just so confident. You get out of the truck and none of it. Yeah. And there's like 30 that's police cars, and you're like, "You boys here to help me unpack?" Or that's pretty cool of you. It's movers. Yeah, it's really nice of you guys. Really welcoming us to the neighborhood. I can't tell if that's just the confidence of me driving a pickup truck, or if I'm literally running people off the road. I think you probably are actually running people off the road. Yeah, I think so too. Extraordinarily bad drive. But I won't stop. I love it. I'm my Civic. I'm like not even in my lane. I'm like just driving on the side of the road. I don't have any confidence. But once I get in that truck, I can really. It's mine, like in a head-on collision, you'll die harder than I'll die. I might not even die. I'm in a big truck and it's the color red and I'm very powerful. I have a cold. I cannot. Why do you have a cold? You knew we were podcasting today. What if I take one of the paper towels and roll it up and put it in my nose? And you do that. Get it all. That's fine. Because you're not even blowing your nose. You're just inhaling. You're sucking in your boogers. Okay, so you're in a truck. You've killed many people. Yeah, you've slaughtered a few. And it's just good about it. Yeah. Do you think as the car gets bigger, you get more and more confident? Like if you were in like a 16-wheeler, you would be like just slamming people running off the road. I don't even know. You escalated it so high initially. It's impossible to go higher. I don't know. I think at first it's like confidence, but then as you keep getting bigger and bigger, it becomes more of a blue collar job. You're like, I used to rule the world. Now I drive a bus. And there's children. So no, I don't think bus drivers in general are like Mad Max. Where do you think the peak is? Like it's a bell curve. Where do you think like you get less and less confident? But there's once you get to the full size bus, you're not confident. But when you're driving the short bus full of, disabled people, you're pretty confident. You're like, fuck it, let's do this. God. Is it them or is it just the short? No, it's them, because if you need to, they'll attack. I don't think they will. When you're driving, you can be like, attack, and they'll climb on top of the bus and pounce down on on your enemies. And that's why you're so confident. But once you get to a regular bus with just people who paid to be on the bus, then you think they'll just be, you're like, attack, and like, dude, shut up. They just go back to being on their phone. Yeah, they won't be your minions. Like one of them will just the folks on the short bus would have. The only response they'll give you is just they'll cough on you. Yeah, and they'll go back to what they're doing. Yeah, that makes sense. I would believe it. I was on a bus with a friend of mine. We were going from DC to New York, and we sat in the very front. And the bus driver just goes, "Hey, if you're this close to the front, you can't talk. It really stresses me out when people talk." And it's like, hey, it stresses me out that you're the bus driver. You can't be a bus driver if you can't handle people talking. He's like, I just don't like when they talk behind me. It's like, you're driving, everyone's behind you. You're fired. I fired him. You fired him? What if he was like, instead he was like, you can't talk, or you need to breathably whisper right behind it needs to be not. They need to be able to feel it. Yeah. Yeah,
You need like
it's because I can't. The
hello.
dissonance of hearing it but not feeling it is the problem. So you need to like whisper.
Oh, that
Do you have a
when you
question?
drive a short bus, you can.
You're very
You
powerful.
have your because you have your minions.
Do you think that correlates to other, like if you had a short bus but for like water, that would be you'd feel equally powerful, or does the size change based on the actual?
For water? What do you mean?
If you had like a boat the size of a short bus, or is it literally the short people that make it?
Do you think a short bus is full of short people? Do you know who's in the short bus?
Short people.
Short people?
Yeah, they need their own bus. They wouldn't give one to the tall people, but short people need that kind of, it's lower to the ground.
And that's why they go home an hour and a half early every day, because they're short.
They need more time. They have like smaller gates.
Their gates are too small.
Yeah, they need like an extra hour and a half. It's a really long walk for them, and you should be more respectful of it.
So why do they have those electronic wheelchairs?
In
So
case
no one
they
knows
get
how tall
tired.
they are?
Yeah, so they can hide it. Yeah, you know those scenes where it's like two people and there's like a big trench coat? Sometimes they'll do that with a wheelchair. They'll stand on the wheelchair and put a big trench coat over them. So they're like, oh, they're just a regular person with wheel legs.
And how come they don't talk so good?
Like
Because they're way down there. You can't.
Yeah, it's
What?
like, you know when you take a bunch of helium and your voice gets higher? Yeah, it's like that. It's the altitude.
How about this? Every time someone brings up or talks about PC culture in any capacity, you only hear experimental jazz trumpet. Is your life better or worse?
I mean, I can't watch any Joe Rogan from like 2016 to 2018.
No. You
just
you're
none
like,
of it.
Like it's innovating, but sometimes it sucks.
Is it going? Does it build to anything?
No, not really. I mean, it doesn't follow typical musical conventions. But it works because every time someone starts talking to you and they're like, oh my god, I feel like I can't say any, and then you're like,
I can't watch like any current like a stand-up special from like Bill Burr or like
I mean, you can watch some of it as long as they're being sexist or something.
You can't watch any Paper Tiger.
No.
It's just trumpet.
Yeah, it's just trumpet.
Experimental trumpet.
It's trumpet with like a Boston accent.
Are they getting better, or is it just pretty statically? They're like not figuring it out or like putting things together. They're just working through it the whole time.
It doesn't get better. It always is different. Every time you listen, you're like, huh. I don't know that
Can I talk about PC culture? Do I only hear a trumpet?
You only hear trumpet. I mean, you can try, but Oh, actually, no. When you try talking about it, you just make trumpet sounds. That's what everyone else also hears. You're like,
I would talk about it a lot. When I make trumpet sounds, do I sound like I'm talking about PC culture inversely?
No.
Oh,
trumpet sounds. Sorry, dude.
I don't know if I do that. That doesn't really.
It's not would you do it. It's would your life be better or worse?
Oh, I think it would be better. I think at one point I'd be annoyed, but now I'm so tired of hearing it. I have to delete YouTube. It would be most like 30% of it would just be completely useless. But
you would have strong opinions about the trumpet. When you finally did hear trumpet, you'd be like, this is pretty unoriginal compared to
you sure you wouldn't go the other way?
Compared to Bill Maher or whatever.
I don't know. Do you think your life would be better if you could only use you only hear trumpet?
No, of course not. Obviously it'd be worse.
You'd pick PC culture.
Oh yeah, maybe that's a good question. Either all PC culture talk is trumpet or all trumpet is PC culture.
PC culture, yeah. It would make New Orleans very contentious. You'd be like, dude, I can't go to that jazz club, dude.
Yeah, we used to be able to say fag or whatever.
It's like Jesus. You can't. You have to leave New Orleans clubs and bars.
Blues Alley every.
Yeah.
I spent $80 on these tickets.
People are like, dude, jazz isn't even that bad. Like, no, man, I just can't talk about transgender people anymore. Yeah.
Have you heard Miles Davis? You're like, God, yeah. I mean, yeah, I've heard him. I don't know who's so mad at.
I know. But then Jordan Peterson would sound wonderful. Be great. Is it like the more articulate the stuff is, the better the jazz is, or is it?
It's not good.
It's
experimental. It's always just experimental.
Wait, does that make jazz experimental P culture conversations?
No, just regular
run of the mill. It's kind of the same conversation you've had with every single person from 2016.
Yep.
I don't think I do that switch. I don't listen to enough jazz or PC culture anymore to have any opinion. I don't know.
Would you, if Dr. Fauci came out and told you that COVID was actually pronounced COVID, would you make the switch?
I would stop wearing masks.
COVID? It is pronounced COVID.
COVID? I think I would.
Did we already talk about this? Remember when Obama tried to get ISIL going?
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
No,
we were all calling it ISIS, and he was like, "It's ISIL," and we're like, We don't care. Who cares about that? He's like, I mean, if we're going to say it, let's say it right. It's like, no. No.
You think he was rebranding to make them weaker?
I guess ISIL.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It just sounded, I just remember it sounding really smarmy. Oh, it's actually ISIL.
I don't remember this, so this is incredibly hard for me to have any opinion on.
Well, back in 2001, there was this real goofy day where it's real. You got a question?
Yeah. Do you ever watch Top Chef with Gordon Ramsay?
I mean, I invite Gordon Ramsay, but he never watches it with me.
Oh, man. Do you think that show would be better if Gordon Ramsay, instead of yelling at people, he just tickled them? Like chase them around the room. And they're like, is my lasagna good? And he's like, do you think your lasagna is good? And then he just runs after you with like tickles.
They would learn their lesson faster. I hate being tickled.
I think I hate
Gordon.
Oh my God.
I'll use more salt.
It's just like, you've been cut. And then the two other chefs grab each arm and he's just like, let's do this.
If someone really just tied you down and tickled you, what would happen first? Would you go insane? Would you be immune to tickles? Would you come? Would you poop? Would you fall in love with them? Like something would happen. Like you would eventually, because I feel like when you're being tickled, you're being pulled tighter and tighter and tighter, and eventually it would like. But what is the? Would you have a baby? What would happen?
What would happen?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Would your laughs turn to tears and then into shrieks? Would you have a heart attack? An AFib?
That's hurtfully topical.
I learned recently.
Yeah, that was weird that you said that.
Oh, you know what? When I have a really killer joke, I'm gonna back in that Gordon Ramsay when I said he wouldn't watch with me.
Yeah. Oh boy. I think you grow.
You think I grow?
Yeah. You tickled long enough, you just like get an inch.
Start to stretch.
Yeah, that's why taller people put in the work. Yeah, where you have to, your body tries to escape from the center out.
Okay.
Speaking
of laughing, you have to laugh like Sagat in Street Fighter 2.
I'll take it.
Once in every conversation. Does it destroy your life, or do you become a billionaire? Do you remember how he used to laugh?
Yeah.
He would go, and only his shoulders would move. I kind of think if you really confidently did that laugh, I think you would be big. I think business would work out for you.
Yeah, I think it would go. Honestly, I think that's, if you watch billionaire YouTube, they're like, quit college, Sega laugh.
Sagat laugh.
Get money.
I think. I mean, if you were sincerely, like if you're in a job interview, like what are 3 of your weaknesses, and you just went, they go, all right. Well, they just no weaknesses from this guy. Obviously, sorry I asked such a stupid question.
You want my job? You can have it, man. It's great. No, I think you would go. I think you'd get big. You get huge. And wait, am I the first? Are there like knockoff?
Well, there's the Super Street Fighter 2 character, and you, and the guy who did the voice of the Street Fighter 2 character. So you dispense with him however you feel is necessary.
You have to kill him. He has the copyright. Like you'd have to end him because he would do the laugh too, and then you'd be in a room with just you and him, and you'd both just be doing the Sega laugh at each other, and you'd have to murder him.
Yeah, you would.
I don't think there's another outcome. Yeah, if you could this is another poop one. If you could just once in your lifetime just do all the poop and just poop all of it out there, would you do it? Like right at the end.
Oh,
but you have to. You don't ever like. You can like feel it coming. You're like, oh man. You're like 45. You're like, oh, my back hurts so bad.
Wait, so I'm in immense pain, and then on my last couple of days of my life, I'm just shitting. My family's like, no, we want to see you. I'm like, not like this. I have a mountain of poop.
Yeah, I think you would, or alternatively, it's randomly, it doesn't build up. It just will randomly happen at some point in your life. But then, there's like no consequences anymore. Like after you do the one big poop, you have nothing to lose. You they can't make you poop again. You can eat whatever you want. You're not going to poop it out. No consequences.
There's other consequences besides pooping. Is that how you live your life? It's like there's the carrot and there's the poop.
Yeah, there's the carrot.
There's how good my life could possibly go, and then there's me shitting.
Yeah,
I want to. Do you feel like you lose a terrible battle every day? You're like, just don't shit, don't shit, and then you shit, and you're like, fuck.
It's a little part of yourself.
I failed again. Yeah.
It's a little bit of you. I
want to eat it, but it tastes so bad. So again,
no. It's like, that guy from Game of Thrones that kept getting resurrected?
Yeah.
And he talks about how each time he loses a little bit of himself, like he's a little less there. Mm-hmm. That's what pooping is like for me.
You're less Nathan every time?
Yeah. And then one day I'll just be a little Nathan. in the shell of a big Nathan.
Just like, I mean, that's life. You know, that's what that's who we all
we're
are.
all just little Nathans inside a big Nathan. But I won't be me.
That kind of wraps it up.
Yep, I think it's a good ending.
You know, I was thinking I was going to edit out all of your sniffles, but I think I'm going to edit more in.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is a bit I said earlier.
No, I know, but not just the snot. I'm going to, like every one sniffle, I'm going to make it like 6 where you're like,
make it like have a beat. That's the background music. It's just
you sniffling.
Yeah, something like that. And do a drum beat with just sniffles. It'd be great.
Hey, what do you think about this? You know how people say some people say they're a premature ejaculator. They do. They say I ejaculate prematurely. Well, not me. I'm a mature ejaculator.
It takes me days after I have sex.
When I ejaculate, it is thought out and patient and productive.
Oh, I was going like instead of premature, it's like post-mature. Like
no, it's just mature.
And then like 2 days later, you just randomly come really hard everywhere.
Nope. When I come, it's at the right time and it is appropriate. That's what people say every time I come. They say, Nick, that was appropriate for the situation.
Wait, is it appropriate for this? Are you coming in the right time, or is your come
right time, right place, reasonable amount? How many tissues do we have? That's how much I'll come today. Thank you.
I don't think I'd want that. If I could control the volume like that, I don't think it.
It's all about control, and it's all about being okay with what happens.
Do you think people aren't
about
okay?
Comporting yourself. Most people come, they make a ridiculous face. Not me. I make no face.
You have no vinegar stroke. You just
just keep typing.
That makes you sound like a fucking serial killer. If you come, you're just like
And I keep typing. I send out emails, but not too many. I mean, like one. You know, they say multitasking is bad for you. When I come, it's deliberate and it's good for my cholesterol.
Is it like fun?
No, but that's not what's important. Family is what's important.
How does that pertain to coming?
Do I need to explain this to you?
Yes. I don't know, man. You're the one that's like, it's about family and composure and making sure it's only 2 ounces. It's like, this is very weird. Is 2 ounces a lot of cum? Or is that a little bit of cum?
I don't know.
I had a friend that genuinely asked me if I had tried it. Like
I only know how to measure cum in terms of how many mouthfuls it is. Mouths full. What am I supposed to do? I'm out of toothpaste. Got to brush my teeth.
Do you make sure that it's like when you're when you're trying to split a single drink into 2 cups, do you like go to one and you're like, oh, that's up. Okay, let's make sure that one gets the right, or you?
No, I lie on my back and kind of neck and then hoist my hips up and get out my face. Get out my toothbrush and I just...
I think we should have ended it earlier. I think we should have ended
my penis.
I think we should have ended it.
Imagine you have to brush your teeth and masturbate. Do you brush left or do you masturbate left? That's a good question. You know what I'm saying? You got to brush your teeth. You also have to masturbate. What's going in what hand?
I would like to be done.
And also, which finishes first? All right.
What was the question?
You have to brush your teeth with one hand and masturbate with the other. What goes in what hand?
If you were masturbating, you got a big cup of soup. You get 2?
Damn, don't fat shame your girlfriend for her soup.
Medium.
What?
They didn't have medium.
Can I have that one? Why do I get the big one?
We're splitting them.
Are we splitting that one too?
This is going to be a clip. Nathan soup shaming his girlfriend.
I'm not soup shaming.
Damn, that's a lot of soup. That's the most soup I've ever seen, especially for a girl.
Yeah, she got one regular one for her, and then she got this like big ass tub for me. It's like I wanted.
Nobody said it was for you.
Yeah, look at the difference. Look at the difference. Clearly, she was opening this one, and this was the other one. I was like, is this my soup?
No, this is our lobster bisque, and then they had a lasagna soup.
I'm not gonna shame you on the quantity of soup, but I will shame you on getting lasagna
We
soup.
both have colds.
Liquid lasagna isn't the cure. I'm gonna go enjoy my liquid lasagna.